In the modern spiritual and psychological landscape, one of the greatest ironies is that a lecture or discourse about giving up ego can often become an event that inflates the ego in both the speaker and the audience. What is meant to be a path toward humility, detachment, and inner dissolution becomes, paradoxically, a platform for self-importance and mental identification. This irony lies at the heart of many spiritual contradictions in the age of performance and self-image. To begin with, the very act of delivering a lecture on ego subtly positions the speaker as someone who has transcended ego, therefore, worthy of being listened to. The speaker, consciously or unconsciously, occupies the position of a guide, a guru, or an enlightened figure. This immediately creates a hierarchy: speaker above, audience below. The ego thrives in such structures. The speaker, while possibly advocating humility, is simultaneously reinforced by the attention, admiration, or reverence they receive. The mere fact of being able to speak with confidence about having no ego can become a sophisticated mask for a subtler, more spiritualized ego. The audience, too, is not free from this loop. Simply attending a lecture about giving up ego can generate a sense of superiority. "I am someone who seeks to be free from ego," the mind whispers. "I am not like ordinary people lost in the world." This sense of spiritual ambition, though seemingly noble, is still rooted in egoic identity: me versus others, me as seeker, me as someone trying to rise above. It becomes a refined form of self-importance cloaked in the language of renunciation. Another layer of irony lies in how language itself contributes to this trap. Talking about ego reifies it, turns it into a concept, a thing to be conquered. But the ego is not a fixed object. It is a fluid process of identification and self-referencing. Once it becomes an object of attack, the mind splits. The higher self now sets out to defeat the lower self, once again reinforcing duality and hierarchy. The war against ego becomes yet another battlefield on which the ego survives and thrives. Even the idea of progress on the spiritual path becomes egoic. When someone says, "I used to be egoistic, but now I am detached," the self-congratulatory tone is hard to miss. Self-improvement becomes self-advertisement. Even if unspoken, the feeling of inner achievement strengthens personal identity rather than dissolving it. Thus, the very goal of giving up ego gets appropriated by ego as a new form of self-definition. To avoid this irony, genuine spiritual traditions often avoid intellectual or theatrical approaches to ego. Silent retreats, humility in teaching, anonymity, and spontaneous action without self-claim are methods used by true masters to reduce the reinforcement of identity. Instead of lectures, they emphasize direct experience and presence. A person who has truly dropped the ego does not need to speak about it. Their being reflects it. And when they do speak, it carries no charge of authority, superiority, or self-reference. In conclusion, the irony of a lecture about giving up ego lies in the performative structure of such an event. It risks becoming a spiritual drama where ego wears the robes of humility. Only through continuous inner honesty, humility, and awareness of these traps can one hope to truly approach ego transcendence. Otherwise, the ego simply changes form, subtler, quieter, but still present, thriving in the very places we least expect it.